I'm back again with another one. This one's just going to be a very quick one. Um, I've been trying to emphasize, especially if you're following me on my social media, the importance of us being active on the ground. Because I fear when I look around, all I'm seeing is a lot of content creators, but not people who are active or actively on the ground solving problems. And this has somewhat become a culture where I guess some people are chasing the status of coming across as activists rather than doing the actual work. And obviously, there are many of us who are active, who are on the ground, and who are also active on social media. So there's a balance. But then there's some of us who just like talking. And you see it. There are people that are posting on social media consistently every day as if it's their job, like very consistent. And you can tell that this is a content creator. This is not somebody that's fighting these battles and solving these problems that we're dealing with of illegal immigration, the invasion of foreigners, our porous borders. I keep saying and emphasizing over and over, governments don't exist. It's an illusion. Governments are institutions or bodies that are there to take money from the people and use that money to work against us. Remember, the New World Order is being ushered in, and in order for it to be ushered in, the current system has to collapse. So everything is going according to plan. This system collapse is planned, and it's going to usher in World War III, after which the resolution of all of that will be the New World Order. There will be a completely new world. Everything that we know would have been destroyed by this war that's coming. So this collapse that you're watching take place of Western civilization is planned. Now, the only way you are going to get your freedom is by coming together with your community to resist the policies that your government is trying to enforce and push onto you, the people. One of them being the digital currency, digital ID, surveillance states, technocracy, where we are being watched at all times. Every transaction is being watched at all times. And your personal sovereignty is being removed and being replaced with what they will call convenience. But with every piece of convenience you're given, you're giving up security, you're giving up freedom. This has been the play, this has been the trap, this has been the illusion of freedom that's been created, and the illusion of consent, because the public are not necessarily agreeing to these things. They're being pushed and forced by their governments into a certain direction. And there are subversions of movements like the feminist movement and even the GBV and all these movements that are seemingly good for society, but are actually aiding and assisting in destroying society so that the New World Order can be brought in. The family unit has been completely destroyed and taken over by oligarchs. Oligarchs are in your home. They are controlling everything that you do, everything that you think. They're monitoring us, tracking us, and there's no authority figure in the house. There's no masculine figure in the house to provide security against this subversion and this invasion of our minds, because that's what men are supposed to guard against. That's what they're supposed to do, protect their families against such things. But masculinity has been completely removed from the family. It doesn't matter whether you have your father in your life, even if your father is in your life and a part of your family, he has less influence, and just your parents in general have far less influence over you, your thoughts, your life, your ideologies than, let's say, the internet. And this is what makes the internet so dangerous, because what people are not understanding, and I'll make a video elaborating on this in a lot more detail, is that the internet And all of these apps and these stories that you've been sold about Facebook, about Instagram, YouTube, these awkward nerds or geniuses came up with these ideas and these apps. It's not true. You've been sold stories about Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a moron. He's a stupid person. If you've ever listened to him speaking in interviews, you'll understand that there's no ways that it's true what they're telling us about this guy. His logic is so poor. The way he reasons has so many holes in it. These people are actors because when you understand what these apps, the technology that is behind the creation of these apps, they are military technologies that are built for mass surveillance and the collection of data. It's not some guy who was sitting in his room, some nerd who was sitting in his room who wanted to be popular in college that decided to create this. No, these are military weapons that needed to be released into the public in an organic way so that people could trust them and give up their personal information. It couldn't have happened otherwise. It had to feel like it was self-generated, like it came from within our society, just a really smart person that just so happened to come up with this really cool idea, and everybody came on board and started using these apps and these programs. There's a lot of money that goes into such an operation. It's not some nerd sitting in his bedroom that comes up with this stuff, especially for it to go global the way that it did around the early 2000s. The internet in itself is there to harvest and collect data. This is why it has been made available to everyone. Trust me, oligarchs are not trying to improve your life. They are trying to find ways to take away your freedom. And with every invention they give you, with every piece of what is seemingly something that provides freedom, is actually something that takes away your security, something that takes away that freedom. You have to be smart enough to understand that every single body and institution that when you were born already existed, like your government, like the internet, and now AI. These bodies and institutions and technologies are not here to better your life. They are here to help with ushering in the New World Order by taking away your freedom one piece at a time. Your government is not there to help you, the citizens. You don't vote for your presidents. Of course, we would like to, as South Africa, move to a system where we have direct elections rather than party politics, because party politics are doing nothing for us. Money is being looted by these so-called leaders who answer to the Committee of 300, to the globalists, to the global elites, the oligarchs, big business. That's who's running the world. You think your vote is what's putting the president in authority over the country, and it's not true. Your presidents are selected by these oligarchs, big business. Guys, you got to understand this life and the structure that we're living under right now is all fake. It's a complete psyop. You waking up every morning to go to work or to go to school. School is an indoctrination camp. What are they indoctrinating you to do? They're indoctrinating you to think the way they want you to think so that you follow this structure, this system, this regime. So that when you finish school, all you're thinking about is how am I going to make money to survive? Guys, money is not real. These guys print money. Even worse, digital money. They're literally just typing figures in. The CIA, when they offer people money to sell out their countries, this is not money that's based on anything. It's not based on any minerals. The dollar is not based on a gold standard. They're printing money and they're just typing money in a computer. It's not real. This is why I keep saying you must know people in your communities and you must trade and exchange and do business with people that have skills within your neighborhood, within your town, within your community. Create your own currencies, create your own system of value where you can trade and exchange. Create your own currencies. Stop relying on the bank. The banking system is the most corrupt institution along with your government because they are legally allowed to fabricate money. IOUs. They don't have all that money that they're so-called or said to be keeping in the bank. It does not exist. Digital currency is not real. We are not meant to work hard in life. We're not meant to. Humans are supposed to be creative. We're supposed to create, invent, come up with things that further our cultural experience, that further our cultures, our traditions, things that we're supposed to participate in our homelands. We're not supposed to be destroying the earth with every invention and every technology. That's actually backwards. We're supposed to be in harmony, in sync with our environment, with nature, with the animals, with the plants, with the weather. We're not supposed to be out of sync with the elements of nature because we live in an ecosystem with them. And then when we cause disruption, that is not true innovation. The internet, apps, these are all massive psyops that are meant to distract us from doing what we're supposed to do, which is engage with your community. I keep saying it and I will say it over and over again. Engage with the people in your community and start building. Build your own economy. Support local businesses from your neighborhood. Find out who's who and who does what. Go outside, speak to your neighbors. Go door to door. Find out who everybody is. Keep a log or keep a group online. I prefer having physical copies of things because this thing of us giving away data online, we have to be a lot smarter. We have to start creating our own apps, encrypting them, encrypting our own messages. We cannot keep relying on these apps that are stealing our data because the oligarchs know our every single move. They know everything we're doing. They're studying us and they're feeding this data to AI. Society is going to be ruled by, that's their plan, is to rule us using AI. AI is not your friend. They've already shown us through predictive programming the idea of robots having consciousness or autonomy to function on their own. Do you think, listen, when you have a species that is exponentially smarter than humans, do you think you're still ruling over those things? This is why the oligarchs and the global elites want to merge themselves together with technology to immortalize themselves so that they can live for eternity. They understand that when you have the species or a creation that's exponentially smarter than humans and you merge yourself with it, that basically makes you God. That's what they're aiming for. These so-called presidents and leaders in your government want to rule you forever through dictatorships, using AI, using AI militaries that will not be able to stage coups d'etats or rise up against the government. That's where they're taking us. And I'm saying the window is closing where we can actually do something to overthrow our governments. Do you know that you can overthrow your government in one day? If enough of you gathered and stormed your union buildings or the presidential buildings or political buildings, you can overthrow your government in one day. Of course, there will be casualties because your leaders are going to unleash the military and the police on you because that's what the military and police are there for. They're not there to protect you, they're there to protect the puppet politicians so that they can carry out the plans of the global elites. Everything you believe is a complete subversion. Education is not there to educate people. They give you a piece of paper to validate you. And because people have such low self esteem, they think that that piece of paper means that they're smart or accomplished. And it means nothing. Of course, acquiring skills is important, but what good are those skills if you can't use them to solve problems in your community? Your education is useless. I'm saying it and I'll say it again. Stop being content creators. Get off the flippin' internet and get active in your communities. Speak to people in your communities. Organize yourself to mobilize yourself. Mobilize yourselves at your borders. Mobilize yourselves and create your own police stations. Run parallel governments in your town, in your community. Run a police service, an ambulance service, a firefighter network. Create your own apps, create your own currencies, support local businesses, buy food from one another, create systems that are functional in your own town, fix your own roads, farm your own food, produce your own water from boreholes. Guys, there's coming a time where they're going to poison the well. They're going to poison our water. There's going to be mass killings. You cannot rely on anything that comes from this system because this system is evil and has been built to destroy us, to reduce our population, reduce our numbers, remove people that are non-compliant. I'm saying this and I'll say it again. Speak to the people in your community, organize to mobilize. Organize yourselves to mobilize. Organize 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 to mobilize. Get active. Get off the internet. Don't turn into one of these social content creators that are forever talking about the problem, but what are they doing on the ground to fix these things? I understand, guys think that financial freedom is earning money online. No, but guys, do you understand the censorship that's coming through these very apps that people have quit their jobs. They've got no physical skills. All of their skills and everything they do is dependent on them having access to the internet. Do you know how dangerous that is? Earning money on the internet is not financial freedom and it's not even financial security because I promise you, when the censorship hits on these apps, it's already starting. When you go to Twitter, you go to X, Elon Musk is cooking up that algorithm. He's controlling what you see. He's controlling what people see from your own comments and posts. Even TikTok, same thing. We're living in 1984. People are getting arrested for Facebook posts. You have to be careful what you say now. You can get arrested for it. You can be denied a visa for what you're saying on the internet. Do you guys understand that there's no financial security on the internet? You have to create value for yourselves within your own communities by having skills that are actually useful. Can you provide food? Can you farm? Can you hunt? Can you produce water? Can you build a shelter? Can you make clothes? These are the things that actually matter, guys. I'm telling you, the basics of life, the fundamentals. That's why the schooling, the education system has moved us as a society away from these fundamental skills to make us dependent on the government, to make us dependent on the internet, to make us dependent on AI. Because the time is coming where they're going to use those very things to control us and to censor us. And when you no longer have access to the internet, because Starlink is turning the internet off in countries depending on whether you agree with US policy or not. So if you're making money off the internet, you are in trouble. That is not the way to financial freedom. They told you that it is, but that it's a subversion because the plan is once you quit your job and you become dependent on the internet, dependent on your government for welfare, that's when they've got you. That's when they can control you. Hence why I'm saying create your own currencies or value systems where you can trade amongst one another. Who's good at what in your community? Now is the time to start organizing and mobilizing yourselves. Create your own militaries in your communities. Teach young kids how to shoot, how to use weapons. Do it actively. Go outside. Get off the internet. The internet is a military tool. It's probably the most dangerous military tool that's used right now because people have such a low sense of danger. Shout out to Jessica for that term. A low sense or perception of danger. I forgot how she put it, but she put it perfectly. That they don't realize that these things that we've been given access to for free are extremely harmful to us. But anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I don't want this video to be too long, but I really want you to think about what I'm saying and to get active on the ground in your communities and save your culture, save your cultural identity, say no to these globalists, say no to immigration. Immigration is poisoning your culture. Immigration is never a good idea. It's diluting your culture, diluting your genetics, diluting your bloodline, diluting your roots and your identity. Don't allow it. Protect your culture, protect your genes, protect your bloodline. Say no to immigration. Get off the internet, get involved and active on the street in your community. and bring solutions. Study to learn for real. Learn real skills and bring solutions to your environment, to your community. Perfetto, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you for tuning into Analyses of Sorts with this video today. Get off the internet. I hope you're inspired to actually take action and to organize to mobilize. Organize to mobilize. Until next time, guys. Boto.